Welcome to your channel Movie Market. Top 10 Wonder Woman and Man Relationship Movies. Number 10. Danny Maccabee is a successful, formerly engaged plastic surgeon in Los Angeles who feigns being in an unhappy marriage to get women without having to face romantic commitment. The only woman aware of his schemes is Catherine Murphy, his office manager assistant and a divorced mother of two. At a party, Danny removes his ring to tend to a child's scraped knee. Shortly afterwards, he meets Palmer, a young 6th-grade math teacher. They spend the night on the beach together, but Palmer finds Danny's wedding ring in his pocket the next morning and leaves, upset that he seemingly cheated on his wife with her. Instead of telling Palmer the truth, Danny claims he is getting divorced from a woman named Devlin after she cheated on him with a man named Dolph Lundgren. When Palmer insists on meeting Devlin, Danny convinces Catherine to pose as her and give them her blessing. After Palmer overhears Catherine talking on the phone with her children, Michael and Maggie, she assumes they are Danny's as well and requests to meet them. Danny convinces Michael and Maggie to go along with the scheme, though they blackmail him to take them all to Hawaii. At the airport, they run into Danny's cousin Eddie, who is traveling in disguise as Dolph Lundgren whilst running from his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. To maintain the facade, Danny and Catherine are forced to bring him along. Number 9. Elena and Jake meet by chance on New Year's Eve, arguing for the same taxi. However, instead of going their separate ways after sharing a taxi, they initiate a determined relationship. Director Harry Woodliff. Writers Harry Woodliff, Matthew de Braconnier. Stars Lia Costa, Stuart Martin, Lisa McGrillis. How much of life's rawest drama happens when a woman is hunched over a toilet holding a syringe, a pregnancy test or a tampon? In Harry Woodliff's deeply moving feature debut Only You, a young couple in Glasgow go on a journey from giddy happiness to unbearable despondency when they decide to start a family. Yet, while they veer from anticipation to grief with each IVF appointment, each passing month, the emotions dredged up in this story are so exhilaratingly authentic that Only You becomes, in its own way, exceptionally romantic. Number 8. Alice works for Rebel magazine, where she needs to let her hair down to get a promotion. When Balthazar returns a lost USB to Alice, the appearance of dating someone half her age helps her. Does it get real? Alice Lantins, 38-year-old ambitious workaholic editor of Rebel fashion magazine, returns to Paris from Brazil and loses her flash memory on the plane. Young architecture student Balthazar Upfel finds it and calls Alice to tell her. She schedules a meeting in the bar where Balthazar is drinking with his friends, but he tells her that the device is at home. He offers a ride in his scooter to Alice, and while he is putting the spare helmet on her, two co-workers of Alice see from an angle that make them believe that Balthazar is kissing Alice. They take a photo and post it on the Twitter. The next morning, everybody is laughing at Alice, but the chief editor, her boss Vincent Kahn, loves the idea that Alice is dating someone 20 years younger. Alice decides to pretend that she is in love with Balthazar to get a promotion at the magazine. But she soon learns that she should not trifle with love. Claudio Carvalho, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Number 7. Jessie Fisher, a 35-year-old college admissions officer in NYC who loves literature and language, is newly single and dissatisfied with his life and career. He believes the happiest time of his life was the years at his unnamed Ohio liberal arts college, where he could study uninterrupted, surrounded by others like him. Peter Hoberg, his former English professor, invites Jessie back to the college to attend his retirement ceremony. Jessie meets 19-year-old Zibby, a sophomore studying drama and the daughter of Peter's friends. After the retirement dinner, Jessie stumbles upon a campus party where he runs into Zibby. They agree to have coffee together the next day. He spends the afternoon with her, walking around the campus discussing life, books, and music. He also encounters his old romantics teacher, Judith Fairfield, a woman he has long admired, and meets the eccentric Nat, and Dean, a brilliant but depressed student who, like Jessie, always carries a book with him. Number 6. Johnny Waronker is a long-serving MI5 officer. His best friend and superior, Director General Benedict Barron, summons Johnny to a meeting with MI5 agent Jill Tankard and Home Secretary Anthea Catcheside regarding a potentially explosive report. Waronker highlights a note at the foot of page 8 alleging that Prime Minister Alec Beasley has knowledge of secret overseas prisons where American authorities have tortured terror suspects. If true, Beasley did not share any intelligence gained with the security services, at the possible expense of British lives. At the same time, Johnny begins spending time with his neighbor Nancy Pierpan, a Syrian-born political activist whose brother was killed by the Israeli military. Johnny shares his love of modern art and jazz with Nancy but, wondering if she aims to exploit his connections, asks friend and covert intelligence operative Rollo to investigate her. Meanwhile, Barron dies of a heart attack at his country home before he can make the report public. Beasley orders the report to be buried and tells Johnny of his plans to replace MI5 with a US-style Homeland Security organization. Catcheside's silence is bought by naming her deputy prime minister. Number 5. Charlie O'Brien, a circus owner, encounters an elderly man named Jacob Jankowski, who is separated from his nursing home group. Jacob reveals he once had a career in the circus business and was present during one of the most infamous circus disasters of all time. In 1931, when Jacob is a 23-year-old veterinary medicine student taking his final exam at Cornell University, he learns that his parents were killed in a car accident. After the bank forecloses on the family home and in the midst of the Great Depression, he jumps onto a passing circus train. Jacob meets Camel, an employee with the Benzini brothers, who agrees to help Jacob obtain a job. Jacob meets ringmaster August, who after learning of Jacob's veterinary background, hires him to care for the animals. Jacob meets August's wife, performer Molina Rosenbluth, and informs her that their star show horse has laminitis. Number 4. Anne is a lawyer shown working on 3 cases of rape and violent abuse of young women. She is married to a physician, Peter, and they have 2 young twin daughters, Frida and Fanny. Peter's teenage son from his past marriage is Gustav, who lives in Sweden with his mother Rebecca. The family plans for Gustav to move in with Anne and Peter. Gustav arrives and Anne cannot refrain from flirting with him. Gustav begins to conflict with Peter, pushing for the right to move out on his own despite being a minor. One day, Anne returns home to find there has been a burglary. The incident is reported to the police, but afterwards Anne finds an item in Gustav's laundry that was in her bag, stolen during the break-in. She realizes that he was responsible for the robbery and confronts Gustav with the evidence. However, Anne promises to keep the matter a secret if Gustav does his part in the household. From then on, Gustav cheerfully joins in the social life of the family, for instance reading the Danish version of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland aloud for the young twin girls, which Anne herself also does. The film title alludes obliquely to the Queen character in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Time passes and one night, Gustav brings his girlfriend Amanda home. Anne hears the couple having sex and is aroused. Number 3. After weeks of traveling through Europe, the immature American William finds himself at a crossroads in Copenhagen. Copenhagen is not just another European city for William, it is also the city of his father Daniel's birth. When Effie, working in William's hotel, befriends the 28-year-old William, they set off on an adventure to deliver a letter written by William's father to his own father, after he was abandoned when he was 8 years old. Along the way, thanks to Effie's persistence, they uncover William's family's sordid past. An attraction builds between William and Effie. They explore a museum where William caresses Effie's face and nearly kisses her before they are interrupted. Effie has been evasive about her age, but when pressed makes the startling revelation that she is not a hotel employee, but is a 14-year-old doing her grammar school internship, at the hotel. One night at a bar, William sees Effie being dragged out of the bar by an older man, who is later revealed to be Effie's mother's boyfriend. William manages to stop the man from dragging Effie away and beats him up, causing both him and Effie to flee the scene. Number 2. Brian Bloom. Anton Yelchin, a struggling 24-year-old writer in New York City, meets a 33-year-old French woman named Ariel Pierpont, Berenice Marlohe. They feel powerfully attracted to one another. After their second meeting, Ariel reveals that she is married to a much older diplomat, Valerie Lambert-Wilson, and they have 2 young children. Ariel and Valerie have an agreement that each is permitted to have extramarital affairs as long as they are limited to the time between 5 and 7 p.m. on weeknights. Brian is perplexed at this information and tells Ariel that he cannot continue to see her, believing it to be unethical. She says that, should he change his mind, she will continue to smoke on Fridays at the same place they met. After 3 weeks, Brian decides to meet again with Ariel. She gives him a hotel key, and in the evening at the hotel room they consummate their relationship. They begin to meet regularly at the same hotel room in the evening. Number 1. Princess Caroline Matilda of Great Britain is shown writing a letter to her children in which she professes to tell them the truth. In flashback, Caroline talks of England, as she was about to leave to marry Christian VII of Denmark. She is passionate about the arts and education, but when she arrives in Denmark she is told that many of her books are banned by the state. Christian is mentally ill and Caroline is unhappy in the marriage. She is soon pregnant with a son, Frederick VI of Denmark, but the couple grow far apart and the king stops visiting her bedroom. The German doctor Johann Friedrich Struensee is recruited to work as the king's personal physician. Struensee is a man of the Enlightenment, greatly influenced by the writings of Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He keeps this secret from the state, who welcome him because his father is a well-known priest. King Christian takes a strong liking to Struensee and he becomes a close friend and confidant. When Struensee manages to inoculate Prince Frederick against a smallpox epidemic, he becomes greatly respected in the court. Christian has very little influence in the Privy Council, and the laws of the country are mostly decided by statesmen, but Struensee tells the king that he can have more power by acting. The doctor begins writing speeches for the king which advocate his own progressive views, and several reforms are passed in Denmark. Thank you for watching Movie Market. Please subscribe.